Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I am sorry I'm a few minutes late. I just had a few emails come in. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day, and thanks to Sean and AO for having me on here. I'm really looking forward to answering these questions today. We have some great ones from some great members here, so this is fabulous. So I hope this is okay also. I put this on my phone. Sean let me know last time that it looked like I was looking over the camera, so I apologize about that for anybody that was watching. So I put it on my phone today, hoping that you guys can see me better. Anyways, let's get started. I'm really looking forward to answering these questions today. So the first question is from AJ. So AJ's question was, how do you choose where to focus when everything needs work? The background of the question is, maybe it's this phase of business growth, or perhaps it's my perspective, but I feel like nothing we're executing for our clients is performing nearly as well as it should be. I feel like the spinning plate entertainment guy who is always bouncing from one plate that's about to fall to another. With many different types of plates wobbling, I'm really struggling to apply my focus to really excelling at any one thing. Okay, AJ, so this is definitely a phase of business growth. I'm sure that any entrepreneur, mentor, business startup, or anybody in the business world can attest to this. It's definitely business growth. We are currently going through this as well. So in any stage of business, whenever you're going, like I said, whether you're a startup and you're just getting those first few clients, or whether you already have, say that existing 100 clients and you're looking to go into that 1,000 mark, you will experience things like this because you're always going to have to expand. You're always going to have to implement further infrastructure to ensure that you can handle all of those things, whether it's staffing, clients, things like that. So it's definitely business growth. To choose where to focus on these things, it's definitely important. And if I were in your shoes, and exactly what I did before as well as now, whether you have a map, a chart, a to-do list, anything like that that will, gather your thoughts, or if you write in a journal at nighttime, whatever you do, take the first thing that makes sense. Everything is going to take work. We are currently, doing 16 to 17 hour days, just trying to get our new expansion taken care of and done. But definitely choose one thing that makes sense to go into the next part of it. So whether you are looking at expanding staff or, hiring a manager, you need those things to work. So, if you are hiring a manager and you need to have checklists or some kind of, document or something like that, that obviously needs to come first before you go into the management or hire of the manager. So unfortunately, you're always going to have a list of things. You're definitely going to feel overwhelmed. I am also going through this right now, and I've been doing this for a long enough time, and I'm sure other entrepreneurs as well can answer to this. But definitely just focus on one thing that makes sense first, and then hit the next one and hit the next one. You will get through it, I promise. You will not feel like the juggling entertainment man at some points, and when all of it's done, and you'll feel much better. But you definitely just need to tackle one thing at a time instead of trying to do all of them at once, because you'll never get it done. You just need to have that patience, and you need to go through it smoothly so it is perfected and you can go into the next thing. So I hope that helps. I totally hear where you're coming from. Like I said, I've been in those shoes. I'm definitely in that right now with our expansion, and even though I've done it 3, 4, 5 times, every single time is different. So just, tackle that first thing. Like they say, eat the frog in the morning. Tackle the first one that makes sense and hit the next one and the next one. So I hope that helps. But you will always feel like that, I promise. The next question is from Martina. So the question is, how do I motivate myself and my workers not to give up in the beginning of our business? The background of the question for Martina is, I run a home healthcare business in Switzerland. I'm a nurse by trade. Doctors and hospitals refer patients to me, and I bill the insurance companies for services we provide. I am a new company, and I want to keep my new team motivated and inspired as we grow. I'm looking for tips on how to do that. Thank you. Okay, Martina, great question. This is very exciting. So congratulations on your success thus far. So if I were in your shoes, and again, I do this even daily now, even after not being a startup, you need to be very clear and excited about the vision and focus of your business. So include your employees, your team, whoever you have on board, include them in that daily excitement, in that daily, focus for your company, where you're going. Even if your dream for the company is, this big, include them in it. They may think that you're out of this world and that you're totally crazy, but it gives them something to be excited about. So instead of focusing on the small things, which you do have to do, I would include them in the big picture. When we're this big and to get there, do this, and be excited about the expansion and the growth that you're going to succeed and have in your business. But you definitely need to include them in that. It's not just you, it's your whole team. So be excited about the future, be excited, and be clear about your focus, your goals for the company, and they will definitely be on board. I do this daily at my calls. I do this weekly with my manager calls. I do this monthly with my company calls. And at that point, they think I'm totally off my rocker, but they think that they're a part of this big thing as well. So when I say, when we're hitting the next country, they love it. And they like being a part of that. So definitely use that to your advantage. Encourage them, inspire them, and get them a part, and to be proud of something, that's growing so well. And you'll really see the benefits of that when you include them in something so great. Okay, so I hope that helps. The next question is from Tatiana. I apologize if I butchered your name. I think it's Tatiana. So Tatiana has said, I have an employee that left to go work for another restaurant and just messaged me to let me know that it didn't work out and if she could have her job with us back. What do I do? So the business description and background of this question is, I own a smoothie bowl / juice bar. We have been having issues with staff lately and many leaving due to their senior year being over and them wanting to have a fun summer, and a few who graduated college and is now pursuing their career. Lately, some high school students are leaving to go get a summer temp jobs that pay cash, or in this case, the employee left to go work at a restaurant owned by a family friend in order to receive more tips. I had a conversation with this employee, letting her know that we appreciate her, and if there's anything we could do to help, we would try to accommodate. She said she loved her job, but wanted to get cash tips. Here we are 2 weeks later. We replied to her text to let her know it was nice to hear from her and apologize that things didn't work out. I told her I wanted to talk to her next week. How would you handle this? Okay, I have recently just went through the same thing. So it's very hard, extremely hard, especially when you love this employee. So if I were in your shoes, because I have been in your shoes, I'll give you a little bit of my experience and then I'll tell you and then maybe you can make a decision. So about 2 months ago, one of my area managers who was full-time with me, they loved their job. One of my best staff, totally loved them, adored them. They were full-time with me. They got the opportunity to go to their dream job, which, it doesn't even matter to them. It was a dream job. So they left and, she had asked initially if she could go part-time because this new job, she was going to have to do part-time hours, enough to get an apprenticeship or something to that effect to be able to go full-time. So I said, no problem. We will adjust all of your supervisor positions to be able to be part-time. So I adjusted everything. And then 3 weeks later, she said she was going to go into the new job after I had just changed all of her schedule, all of her clients, all of her supervision material. And then on the Friday night, she called me bawling her eyes out, saying that they canceled the job, that there was no more job, and that she wanted to come back full time. So me, being the person I am, hired her back full time, changed the contracts all over again so she could have those full-time hours and she could, still do those supervising things that she was very good at, thinking, you know what, I've just put my heart out and bent over backwards to help you out, so you're going to do the same for me. 2 weeks later, she called me again saying I have some bad news. The job is back on the table. So in my eyes and in my brain, I think, well, this guy has already screwed you over once and now you're going to go back there full-time, because now he's promising a full-time job. So I feel a little hurt because I'm a great boss and I've already done this for you once, and now you're gonna go back. So I was a little hurt, but I said, you know what, girl, I totally get it. No worries. Feel free, just 2 weeks, you know, so we can get some more management up to take over her position, blah, blah, blah. We did it all. She said the same thing to me. Can I, if it doesn't work out, if I don't love it, and if I totally don't want to work for this guy, can he or can she come back and work with us full time again? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, now you're taking advantage because you know that I love you. You know that I want you to come back into the company. You know you do a great job, and you know you're a valued part of this company. But I've had to put my foot down. So I told her straight up, if it doesn't work out, unfortunately, professionally, I cannot accept you to come back. I cannot put you back on a full-time position because after that, you know, what's gonna happen in 6 months' time? You think you can go back to another company? It's very hard. I would have loved to take her back if it didn't work out because she was a phenomenal employee, but I just couldn't. At that point, it is taking advantage. So if I were in your shoes in regards to this, Tatiana, I would say, unfortunately, you know, as much as I would love for you to come, I can't have you back because it's setting a precedent for other employees. Don't let times of desperation and, you know, hard times when you're struggling with staffing, because it is hard. You just want to take everybody, but you have to set that standard. You have to set that ground line, because if not, you will get taken advantage of, which, you know, you don't want to happen. So I hope that helps. It's very hard. I know. I loved that employee. I would take her back in a heartbeat, but you do have to set ground rules. And unfortunately, people will take advantage of them if you don't. So I hope that helps. And the next question from Martina as well, the nurse in Switzerland. So her question is, how do I get stronger in motivating myself? So same thing, she runs a home healthcare business in Switzerland. She's a nurse by trade. Doctors and hospitals refer patients to her and bill the insurance companies for services. So she feels sometimes she loses motivation and direction. How do I stay on track and keep motivated and moving forward? Martina, I think it's very important that you need to have a why and a strong focus as to why you're doing this. If you don't feel like you have a reason or a purpose or a why, get one. Get clear on your goals and why you love what you're doing. Is it because you love helping people, which obviously you do. You're working your butt off and you're a fabulous nurse. So get clear on your goals, you know, why you're doing what you're doing. Is it for a future goal? Is it for freedom? Is it financial freedom? Do you just want to do a job that you love? Get really clear on that, so then when you're feeling a little low or down or unmotivated, because we all have those times, then you can remind yourself, you know, why are you doing what you're doing? And then it'll make you get out of bed, I promise. You know, there are days where even myself, it's stressful. You know, we have 40, 50 people to handle. And there's days where I wake up and I go, oh my God, not again. You know, it's going to be one of those days. It's very overwhelming. We're going through extreme growth right now. And it is stressful, but then I remind myself of why I'm doing this, for that freedom in the future. It's not even about the dollar amount, it's just the freedom, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So whatever you're clear on, whatever your goals are, get clear on them. Remind yourself, put sticky notes, you know, in your car. That's what I did. Before we hit our first million, I used to put sticky notes in my rear view mirror on my car, so I'd see, I mean, not covering the whole thing, just on the side. And it would say, you know, 1 million. That was my biggest goal at that time. I felt like I could never have hit that $1 million. And I did. And I reminded myself all the time, my bathroom mirror, when I was getting ready in the morning, I had sticky notes that had 1 million by this date. After we hit that, my next one was hire this many supervisors so we could expand to this amount, because it wasn't about the dollar amount anymore. It was about reaching a certain amount of space and area. So just get clear on those goals, and it will help you. Remind yourself, put them as your screen, on your background, on your phone, anything like that, to remind you why you're doing what you're doing, whether, you know, it's a big house or a car that you want, or if, like I said, if it's just helping people and leaving that legacy in the healthcare field that you're doing. I would definitely remind yourself daily, even hourly, why you're doing what you're doing, and I think that will help you stay motivated. Okay, so I hope that helps. Tatiana, again, great question. Should I be concerned about taking my staff on the boat for a day if a few of them are underage? So the background of the question is we've been trying to come up with fun ways to reward our staff. After different recommendations from a few mentors, we are thinking about a big boat party on the lake. Trying to figure out if we allow them to bring a guest or limit it to just employees, and my husband's biggest concern is the underage employees drinking. We do not want to be liable. Is this a bad idea? Should we think of something else, or how do we handle this situation? Tatiana, I love that you're rewarding your employees. That's so great. It's definitely something important to do within a company, so way to go on that. I mean, personally, if I were in your shoes, I would not even have alcohol. The boat party on the lake is a great idea. I think your staff will love it. Alcohol doesn't necessarily need to be involved, especially within the company. You want to keep it kind of professional, especially if there's those underage staff members. So personally, if I were in your shoes, I would continue with the boat party. Maybe have some non-alcoholic champagne, you know, the little bottles or even the big ones, and do that. But one recommendation, if I were in your shoes, I would not separate them. I would not give alcohol to the ones who are not underage and then non-alcoholic to the ones who are underage, just because then you're going to, you know, cause a little bit of rifts there, and they may not feel as important as the other ones. So I would recommend not doing that, but can stick with the boat party. And just don't have alcohol. Your husband's right. It is a liability. You also want to keep it professional. So just try to keep no drinking involved there. I hope that helps. I know it's a tough situation when you're trying to, you know, be the best boss ever, but you do have to remember, you know, insurance, liability, employees, and professionalism the next day. You don't want some crazy drunk stories being thrown around the office. Okay, Martina, another question from Martina. So, question that they asked is, I need better time management, but how can I do it? So to build on my new business, primary nursing, I work full-time in a hospital with all of the shifting. Also, my 2 other nurses are doing it. So we're using our salary for many things around the new business, but it's touching our health because we don't sleep enough, only 3 hours a day. Martina, I 1000% understand where you're coming from. I did this when I was first building my company too. I would work all day in the office, and then I would be on site from, you know, 7 p.m. until midnight. I would go to bed. I would get up at 4:30, go to the gym, go, you know, get ready at the gym, go to work. And I did that for about 6 or 7 months. It definitely took a toll on my health. I would not recommend continuing doing that. I was getting panic attacks. I was not sleeping properly. It was definitely taking a toll on me. Ultimately, you need to make a decision how you're going to continue. You obviously cannot finish or continue doing this, or even get a good, you know, success story out of doing that. I had to stop when I had a panic attack. I ended up in the hospital. So I then had to make the decision. I had to hire an assistant. Obviously, there's different things that you can do within your business, whether that's an assistant or, you know, making that sacrifice, doing something else, cutting out one job. I know it's hard financially. Sometimes you have to make that leap. I'm not really sure about the basis of your business, so I don't really have a concise answer. But I do know you can't continue to do that because, you know, health is the ultimate wealth, and you can't be successful if you know, aren't healthy and you're not sleeping and you can't think straight, because eventually it will start impacting your work, your quality, and your brain power. So I'm not really sure how to advise you on that, and I don't really know as much about your industry, but please try to get some sleep. Time manage it, maybe get another helper. If it's better that way, weigh your options financially, you know, make sure it's working for your clients, for your company, things like that. Really, you know, take note and do your reporting and your research on what's going to be better for you, just so you can get some more sleep. I promise that your business will succeed even faster if you do focus on your health and your sleeping and you're doing quality work in the time that you are. So I hope that's helpful. I know how hard it is. I was there, you know, not long ago, getting to that point. So I hope that's helpful. And then one final question as well from Martina. How can I stop being nervous and shy if I need to talk to sorry, there's a typo here. How can I stop being nervous and shy if I need to talk with important people about some things I need for my company to grow? So Martina is the nurse. So one thing I've learned, Martina, and if I were in your shoes, I would just go for it. Celebrate yourself for doing this. I know how hard it is. I remember when I had to do my first call or my first meeting with, 5 businessmen about a development. It was the scariest thing in my life. Here's me, 5 foot tall, walking in with my little portfolio about, trying to convince these men to hire me because we're so much better than all the other ones. I was petrified. My hands were shaking. I was sweating. My heart was racing a gazillion miles a minute. So it's definitely scary, but because I was so scared, I'm a champagne drinker. I love champagne. So that time I made it a clear goal on my vision board. I said, once I do this, I'm going to have a bottle of champagne. And that's what I did. As soon as I did it and I came out of there, whether I won or won them over or even got the contract, I still took that leap. I still did it. I still did that meeting because I was pushing it off and pushing it off. And then I was going to lose them because they couldn't wait anymore. We needed to do this proposal. So I made it whereby if I did this, I was going to have this champagne, and I did it. And I had the champagne, and from then on, my comfort level definitely got higher. Now I can speak, I can public speak, I can go into a room and sell anything. But it was definitely scary at first. So definitely take that leap. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and the best rewards will come from that, I promise. Once you do it, celebrate it, because that'll be the best thing for you. It's a motivator for your own personal self, so you can get through those hard times, because we all have them, whether it's picking up the phone or doing a Facebook Live or anything like this. You do get scared, you scare yourself, you get nervous, and you don't want to do it. So just give yourself some motivation, give yourself a reason to do it, whether it's that $, the champagne. Celebrate it and make it worth it. I hope that's helpful, Martina. And it sounds like you're doing extremely well. I'm super happy for you, and you have some great questions here along with everybody else. So those are all of the questions. There's no more today, not that many. So thanks for having me on here. I really love doing these. If any of you have any other questions, please reach out to Sean or Shirley or AO and submit them. And I look forward to doing the next mentor session next month. Have a great day. Crush your goals. Reach out if you have any questions. That's what AO is here for, and we'll be here to help you. Have a great day, guys.